Hello, my name is Anouk, and today I'll propose to you 3 possibilities for using your stretcher: tension release, workout, or deep flexibility. You can stick to one option and repeat it at least twice a week, or you can also mix, for example, working out on one day and doing the deep flexibility on the other day, or even do both on the same day as they are complementary. So let's start by installing the stretcher on your door. Make sure the door is closed well and adjusted to the desired height. I will now guide you through the tension release program. For the first exercise, the stretcher should be about 1 foot above the ground. Start in a tabletop position and extend your right leg so it's resting on the stretcher, then bend your left leg forward. Here, bring your left heel away from you for a deeper stretch and keep the back leg active. Stay here for a minute, then bend forward for another minute, and then switch leg. If the stretch is too intense, you can put a cushion under your hip for a more gentle stretch. For the next exercise, the height will stay the same. Facing the stretcher on your knee, grab it in front of you and scoop back a little. Then let your shoulders fall forward, straight arms. Hips are going up, opening the shoulders and opening the chest. Gaze can be down or up for a bigger stretch in the back. Hold it for 30 seconds. Come back, breathe, and then come back again for another 30 seconds. Now bring up your stretcher about your hips height. Stand in front of it and bring your right leg in, straight leg, flex foot. Hold it here for 30 seconds to a minute, or bring your hands on your leg or on the stretcher for a bigger stretch. Hips here are facing front, and then turn your hips on the side, pressing your foot on the wall. Either stay here if it's already stretching, or go into a side bend for 30 seconds to a minute here until you switch leg. You can adjust the height of the stretcher depending on your leg flexibility, putting it a little bit higher if you want a deeper stretch, or lower if the stretch is too intense. Make sure the leg that is on the floor is active and that both legs are completely straight. Now bring your stretcher down just a bit so it is about at the middle of your thigh height. Stand behind it and walk your hands down to the floor so the stretcher is on your hips now. Bring your heels towards the wall and walk your hand in front of you so you are in a downward facing dog pose, pushing on the palm of your hands and feet, opening the shoulder. Stay here for a minute, or you can also do a wave movement, going on the tip of your toes, rounding the back, then opening the chest. Make sure you are breathing right here. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Gently come back up. And now stand facing the door, walk back until it is placed on your neck, and then let your head fall back and relax. You can decide to stay here, or you can interlace your fingers behind and roll the shoulders back, opening the chest. You can hold this pose for a minute, relax, and do it again. You can also slightly move your neck up and down so you can feel the stretch better. I will now guide you through the second program, which is a quick workout, including stabilizing and core exercises. For the first exercises, put the stretcher at about 1.5 feet of the ground. Get in a tabletop position and then bring in your legs one at a time to be in a plank pose. Hold it here for 30 seconds. Then bring your left leg out and bring your knee towards your chest. Then on the outside of your left elbow, and finally on the inside of your right elbow. Repeat 3 times and then change your leg. So in the chest, then outside of the elbow, inside of the elbow. Take a break and repeat the whole sequence, holding 30 seconds in a plank and then doing the leg sequence. Then lay on your back and rest your straight legs into the stretcher. Push the palms of your hands into the ground and lift your hips and chest up. Bring out one leg, bend it towards your chest, and then straighten it to the ceiling. Repeat 3 times, then change leg. Take a break and repeat this whole sequence. Bring your 2 legs towards your chest. Hold it for a few seconds and now sit on your knees sideways from the stretcher, about the length of your leg in distance, and the stretcher should be about at your shoulder height. Bring your outside hand on the floor, fingers facing front, away from your leg and aligned with your shoulder. Now bring the leg that is closer to the wall in the stretcher, knees, hips and stomach facing sideways. Bring your other hand up to the ceiling to create a straight line. Now use your feet to push on the wall as you can place your other leg straight under to find yourself in a side plank pose. Hold it 30 seconds, then lift your free leg off the ground for another 30 seconds. Make sure your core is engaged here and that your body is creating a straight line. Repeat 2 times on each side. In this movement, the leg is active. The palm of the hand is pressing on the floor, fingers wide open. And you can either look at the hand that is up or look straight in front of you. Let's now go through the last program, deep flexibility. Put the stretcher at about your hips height, hold it and then bring your left knee in, then sink into a lounge pose, right knee on the floor. Hold it for 30 seconds here. Then bend backward for another 30 seconds. And finally, tuck your toes under and straighten your back leg for another 30 seconds. Then switch leg, and you can repeat this sequence 2 times on each leg. So make sure that your hips are squared here, so that you really feel the stretch in the psoas area. The front of your leg should be pressing on the wall, and your arms should be completely straight. Use the stretcher to pull yourself up and come back to standing. Come out of it and grab the stretcher a bit higher in front of you, then walk your feet back and let your shoulders fall down, straight legs, hips up. Opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders. Hold it 30 seconds looking down, then 30 seconds looking up and bringing your chest closer to the wall so you feel the stretch also in your lower back. Hold it and repeat this 2 times. Now bring your stretcher down quite close to the floor. Sit sideways and bring one leg straight into it, opening the other one as far as you can. Hold it here for a minute. Straight back. Then turn your hips to find yourself in a front split and hold it for another minute. You can then switch leg. When you do this exercise, you can choose the height of your stretcher depending on your flexibility. You can also warm up by doing a simple split on the floor before you get in this intense stretch split. For the last exercise, bring the stretcher up so it's resting on your lower back when standing. Bring your arms up and then walk forward as you bend your back, keeping attention on the stretcher until your feet are touching the wall. Press on the wall as you look in between your hands and bend back to find yourself in a bridge pose. Hold it 30 seconds, pushing into your shoulders, straight elbows. Then grab the stretcher, engage your core and pull yourself back up. Repeat this 2 or 3 times.